So we've made two changes to the standard options that we provide for Windows, and one of them is to the primary window options, and we've also added solar control films. For the primary windows, the list of options that we provide, as well as the U factors and solar heat gain coefficients for those options, are now aligned with the Efficient Windows Collaborative. For the most part, we added a few other options in addition to ones that they list, but that's where all the performance numbers come from. We've also updated the cost numbers on Windows according to a study that was conducted by the NAHB Research Council for ASHRAE, dated 2009. So there's the reference if anybody wants to look at the details of that. The result of this is that the cost numbers for the higher performing windows, the highest performing windows, are now a good bit higher than they were in the previous version of BEopt, and all the information we have is that those numbers are more realistic. So we've made that change. For the adhesive films that are added to an existing window, we have added options for solar control films, two different types with high or low visible transmittance. The higher visible transmittance films are wavelength selective and have a higher cost, but their performance in terms of solar gains is similar to the other films. We decided not to go ahead with low E films at this time because based on our discussions with manufacturers as well as our own opinion from looking at one of these films is that they're not recommended for residential applications because they have a very shiny appearance that might be aesthetically unpleasing and would also make it difficult to see out of the windows at nighttime. So we did not include those at this time. So if you look at the window options screen at the top, the first two are the two single pane window options that we now have with metal or non-metal frames. And then the next four options are combinations of the two different solar control films with those single pane windows. So we've added those options. We did run into an awkward situation with the lifetime of these options because the solar control film would be installed at year 0 and replaced every 10 years, we assume, while the primary window has a life of 30 years. For a retrofit, we normally estimate that the age of the window is half of its life at 15 years. So the film and the window have different replacement schedules, but BEopt is only set up to handle one lifetime. So we jury-rigged this with an effective lifetime that gives the correct result on the annualized cost, which is what's important, but they look a little screwy. The lifetime came out to just about 85 years for a couple of the options. So that looks a little screwy, but it does give the right answer. And
that'll be rectified in version 2 of BEopt.
Okay. So you want to read the option notes to see all the details that went into that.